Hello everyone, my name is Callmeliam, and this is a submission video of 007 Nightfire any percent for Awesome Games Done Quick 2020. Since this game's last appearance at a GDQ event, the game's undergone minor route changes, a few new skips here and there have been discovered, and just the general skill ceiling of the game has been... it's gone up quite a bit. So getting into the run after we just changed some settings to be able to use play without saving, we go into the first level, the exchange. This level's pretty straightforward, just point A to point B, though there is a cool clip in it, and there is some RNG here and there, but it is just probably the coolest level in the run, casually. So shoot this first guy, just doesn't really save any time, we just get shot less. Anyway, this is the first section over. So this game goes in sections, sort of, so it's basically... like, you'll have a first act, second act of each level. Though some levels only have one, some have two, etc, etc. So this game was released in 2002 with a bunch of other licensed James Bond games, like Agent Under Fire. I believe From Russia With Love, I might be wrong on that one. Anyway, so these spotlights here are actually RNG. They can have a basically random pattern. Sometimes they can just not even turn on, but they can get in your way, and if they get in your way, an alarm goes off and it spawns more guards, and it's just really, really annoying. But I got a pretty good pattern there, so it worked out really well.
007,
so this is the party. We'll show up uninvited. Just gonna laser some guests and guards here. Spam the jump button because you can't jump here. But we're gonna be coming up on our first primary method of skipping things in this game, clipping. So when you stand up and pull out a gun or a gadget in this game, when you don't have one out previously, your hitbox gets modified. Now, we can just abuse this and clip into stuff. This is the bookshelf clip here. So that skips about a minute of gameplay or so. And now we're just going to walk to the third and final section of the exchange. And a lot is going to be going on here, so I'll try to explain it as the best I can. So there is loading screens in this game. We used to time without loads in this game, but we eventually just stopped doing it because it was just a lot of work. So anyway, we skip this cutscene here, jump out the window, quickly shoot these two guards, otherwise they'll actually come back to basically give us a bad time later. So laser this door. We gotta get the safe open here. So you can actually go faster here if you get good RNG. I got bad RNG, but he basically stands in your way, and the SMG guards will just destroy your health if you're not careful. So yeah, if I didn't shoot those guards, they're gonna come back and open the door, and they just stop you, and you lose a good amount of time off it. So anyway, here's a trick that's gonna happen. I'm gonna walk backwards in the gondola there to activate the trigger and make the gondola move. Then I picked up rockets from the side of the gondola and shot them. Also, you can shoot Zoe here. It's just kind of funny. She's basically invulnerable in that state there. Anyway, so we're going to pre-fire this helicopter. So we're going to fire 2 rockets here, skip this cutscene, and instantly fire the last ones, and mission complete. There's the exchange done. We're going to be moving on to the second level now. So we're just going to mash through through this part. Moving on to the second level, Alpine Escape. This level is a complete auto-scroller. Though it is quite interesting that the IL history of this game has had quite a story, but it's way too in-depth to go into detail with. So literally there's nothing we can do here. There's only like a few things here and there in this level to save time, but I'm just gonna draw in the snow. But yeah, we believe that the maxed time on this level is 4:02, but that has only been tied by 2 people. One being myself, the other one being Ollie NK. Funnily enough, we both got that time during any percent runs, which was quite amazing. It was quite sad in a way though, because a guy, Infinite Sheldor, great runner, he grinded for 4:02 for so long, but never got it. Anyway, so we can shoot this barrel here really quickly, and Zoe will speed up. You can't shoot it too fast, though, otherwise... The same with this one, too. Can't shoot it too fast, though, otherwise, so he doesn't speed up in the snowmobile. Anyway, so just lots of Drakes pursuing guards here that are gonna basically, they're basically just gonna pursue us, but we just shoot them. Though some of these later in the level, you will see we have to be careful where we actually shoot them, because their snowmobiles can stop and actually block you, and you lose a decent amount of time off it, actually. So this part here, you can actually shoot this guy through the cutscene and save about half a second. I managed to hit him, and I believe I get the second rocket here. No, I missed the second one, but I get the third. But yeah, that saves about half a second there. So here's the first instance of the turret snowmobiles, I believe. So yeah, you have to make sure that you don't shoot that guy and blow up his snowmobile, otherwise it'll get in your way and block you, and that's just really, really bad. So yeah, nothing else much to do in this level. We have to shoot a gate out here. Interesting fact that it's actually slightly faster to shoot the gate with the machine gun. You can shoot the switch on the side, but it's just way harder to do. Of course we have to do that in the IL run. So as of the time of this recording, I currently have the world record for this stage, tied world record. I look up here, by the way, to reduce lag. I currently have the tied world record on this stage, and all world records in all of the main categories for this game. The world record for this game is currently a 36:52 set by me. I am currently the only person to hold a 36 time on this game, and I've been running this game for about over a year and a half now. See, that tree back there explodes randomly for some reason when you shoot it. We don't know why. Another example of a guard, we have to be careful where we shoot them. So we're coming up on the third level, the ending of Alpine Escape here, but we're coming up on the third level here. Enemies Vanquished. Now, this is a notorious run killer because there's basically a skip that will skip the entire level, but there's a huge amount of randomness to it. I managed to get lucky here, I believe, and I believe I got it on my third try, but you'll see basically how random this can be. When I'm going for world record, I basically need to get this first try, yeah, but I can get away with second, I believe, but it's just very difficult. So it fails on the second try, and I believe I get it on the third one here. There we go. Okay. So now we're out of bounds, and I have to wait exactly 27.5 seconds holding the accelerator, and I use the machine gun to line myself up. So just drive in here, and when I let go of the gas at around 4:25 seconds, I will fall to the end of the level. And boom. Right at the end of the level. So now we just gotta get rid of all these guys here, load them all up. Sometimes they control you and not die, but I managed to get them all and got a 102. We can tell the in-game time by the timer up the top. So coming up on Double Cross, this is sort of the most movement-intensive level because there's no clips in it, no like real glitches. There's only sort of one skip, really, and it's not even. It is a pretty big skip, but I mean it's not huge at the same time. So that guy there behind us, Mayhew, this guy, he is really annoying because sometimes he just doesn't follow you. The way he works is he'll follow you, basically if you're looking at him, he'll follow you faster. So I'd have to turn back to basically escort him. So I have to get rid of these guards, and Mayhew can't pass unless the guards are either stunned or dead. So I throw a stun grenade here, I can wedge through, drop the Shaver stun grenade. I ended up dropping that in a bad position there. So I have to get rid of these guards. And one stayed alive. What a troll. Okay, so we get him. Mayhew's coming now.
close to the bunker now.
So I should note that we have the gold PP7 now, because basically we did really well on exchange and got a lot of points, so we unlocked the gold PP7. You normally don't get it, or well, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It really depends on how well you do in exchange. So now we have to rescue a bunch of hostages, and these hostages can die really, really easily. If you're not careful. So we managed to shoot the first guy. Shoutouts to Matt Timber there. Every time he loses a run there. That guy with the sniper there has really bad aim and can actually shoot the girl who's running out. Doesn't happen very often, but it happens to Matt Timber a lot for some reason. So anyway, we're getting into the last door here on a pretty decent pace. So we're up to the third act of this level, and we're going to have to basically fight a ninja at the end of this level. And we're going to pick up a sniper rifle. So that hostage there can die real easy if you're not careful. We're going to pick up this guy's sniper and shoot the last hostage taker. Pick up the sniper. That guy's sniper can fall on the ground too sometimes, so it can troll you, but it didn't happen now and we got away with it. So we're going to absolutely destroy this ninja. And basically, well, I'll just let the fight speak for itself. So yeah, that ninja's trolled a lot of young gamers, myself included, but it feels really satisfying to just snipe him like that. So we're coming up on my most hated and loved level in this game, Night Shift. This is supposed to be a stealth mission, but as you can tell, this is a speedrun. We're not going to be very stealthy at all. So you're not supposed to have civilian casualties here, but you can punch them for some reason and knock them out. But they don't get back up when you knock them, which is really, really weird. So I'm going for a trick here, reverse clip. I managed to screw it up the first time round, but I get it on the second go. So the way that trick worked is, if I do a clipping motion, Bond will actually stick himself into the ground, but he stood back up. So the way reverse clip works is we sort of stand up and pull out, crouch down and pull out a gun or a gadget, and Bond just sort of slips under surfaces. So I ran through the laser there. Normally normally you can crouch under the laser. There's invisible lasers here, and I have to go really fast so the turret doesn't alert the guard. Also, this is a cheeky vent clip there. If you crouch right before the grapple hits, you can clip there. So here's another trick. This is the keypad clip. For some reason, I discovered that trick. For some reason, if you pull up the keypad, well, you're supposed to use the decryptor on those, but if you have the option to enter the code manually, for some reason, if you pull up the keypad and just mash A and B really quickly to bring it down and back up really quickly, Bond's collision just doesn't exist. So you can basically just walk through walls whenever there's a keypad around. So I'm going for another clip here. This saves about 2 seconds if I get it right, which I believe I do. And I do. That clip was found by a Finnish runner, which is a new setup for an old clip found by Matt Timber. The Finnish runner being named Vezd, by the way. I forgot to give that shout out. So we know we can keypad clip into Mayhew's office here, but the problem is we can't find a way back out that's faster.
Bond, Mayhew's computer is in this room. Upload the QWAM into it.
So that door that I opened before takes a while to open. So now that it's opened, I go and grab the Nightfire data, and we have to jump off the roof here. But we're speedrunners. We're gonna do it a different way. We're just gonna clip through the helicopter. So coming up on a pretty notorious level that has trolled a lot of new runners, Chain Reaction. Now Chain Reaction is a pretty intense level. From Night Shift to Phoenix Fire is sort of the clipping block of the run. This level has a lot of intense, insane clips, but you can mess them up really easily if you're not careful. I have practiced this level a lot, and I want to say that I have become pretty decent at this level. So what we're going to do here is another clip. Basically, when you rub up against this wall in a certain way while doing a clip, you just come through. I managed to miss it on the first go, but I get it on the second. So technically we're actually in bounds right now, but it hasn't loaded yet, and there it loads. So this is a pretty tricky clip we're coming up on. This is basically, we have to clip out of bounds and walk along a seam and then basically take a leap of faith. Trolls a lot of new runners, but I mean, I've gotten pretty good at it myself, and I seem to hit it pretty confidently in this run, I believe. So I have to make that jump there and then move forward and get my angle set up just right. And my angle is good, and now I have to just jump into the warehouse. And I make it. So every time I take a photo of something, I always make sure to check if the objective actually completed. Alright, so interesting fact, on PAL, which is the version I'm playing on, you don't have to let go of the fire trigger for that laser, because the meter on the left is tied to, is tied to the frame rate. And since the game runs slightly slower on PAL, slightly slower frame rate. Whoops, my chair. But yeah, when you take photos, sometimes the objective just doesn't complete. Okay, so this is Phoenix Fire. This is like the coolest level in the run easily. It's the shortest without loads. Without loads, the world record to this level, I believe, is 32 seconds in game time. So yeah, that's a pretty juicy clip right there. We're coming up on 2 really hard clips in a row here, though. The first clip I have to do here, I have to grab a Ronin turret briefcase and deploy it, stand on top of it, and do a clip, all while I'm being shot at by 3 guards and another Ronin. So I managed to get it there. Then you have to walk very precisely in there, and then crouch to pop in bounds to the elevator there. You're normally supposed to walk all around, deactivate the elevators and stuff, but we just clipped through the wall. This is a frame-perfect clip coming up here. Right here, so... Alright. I get it on my second try, which is good. So the frame-perfect clips, the way they work is, I believe on PAL, it's right before Bond touches his watch on the animation, is when you clip. Is when you hit the button to clip again. Alright. Chuck a grenade for swag here. And one more clip to end this level. And boom. Mission complete. So that's sort of the end of the major clipping block. The rest of the run, I don't want to say is chill, but we've got 2 very, very glitchless levels coming up. So this is Deep Descent. This is the level that we just absolutely despise. We want it gone. So the first thing you'll notice with this level is it's underwater, we're driving a car. We drive in first person on driving levels, except for the start of Enemies Vanquished, just for lineup reasons. Basically, it reduces a lot of lag, and it's just easier to see stuff. So this level is just very, very monotonous. There are no checkpoints in this level. If you die, you go back to the start, and there's a really annoying boss fight at the end of the level that is just horrible at everyone's childhood. So you're supposed to use remote torpedoes here. You can actually just shoot it with the regular ones. That can be hard to line up, but I managed to get it on the second one. Got to avoid the mines here. Touch the mines, causes a cave-in, you fail. But, I mean, the mines are pretty easy to avoid on operative difficulty. On 00 Agent difficulty, these mines are just very, very, very difficult to avoid. When you go for all Plats runs in this game, it's really, really difficult. So there's another strat here actually called Taspedo, where you can shoot the thing down here with the regular torpedoes, but it takes way too long to set up and saves only a second if you do it perfectly. The TAS does it though, and I should shout out the TAS. by Gamer Freak, Ala Kermit, and Fitterspace. Really, really insane watch. 32 minutes long. Go look it up. So, as I was saying before, we are looking for a skip for this level. It would kind of be the holy grail of skips for this game. We know that if you can get out of bounds, you can drive straight to the end, because Fitterspace did use a cheat code to go out of bounds and drive straight to the end, and he was able to do it. So, we just need to find a way to get out of bounds. So, the interesting thing about this level too, is you actually don't need to shoot any enemies. You need to shoot torpedoes, but you can get through the whole level without killing anything but the sub at the end. So we have to follow this sub here, basically to get into Drake's secret underwater island base thing with all his nuclear subs and missiles. But I mean, basically here we're just going to be taking every little shortcut, cutting every corner we can to just go as fast as possible, because we already know the route. So yeah, we already know the route. Notice I'm just cutting every corner. Just got to be careful to avoid the bombs that the sub drops, but they're pretty easy to avoid. So here's the point where we're actually going to be going in front of the sub. Now, you got to be careful here. I actually slow down for just a hair there, because if I don't, I'll not only bonk on the door, but then the sub will actually come up behind me and bonk me even more, and just it'll just become hell. So anyway, we're gonna shoot the last bit of lasers here. Nice, both went through. So the interesting thing about those lasers is they're actually solid, so if you hit them with the torpedoes, your torpedoes just blow up. It's stupid. So, the submarine at the end of the level has tormented so many people, because if you die here, you go back to the whole start of the level. This is the best way to kill the sub. 2 torpedoes under there, use the sub as cover, and just drive straight around. Anyway, we're moving on to island infiltration now. This level has a very long auto-scroller, but we are going to be doing a bit of driving at the start of the level, some pretty intense driving. The first part of this level, I think, is really cool, personally. So, again, a skip here would be really cool, but we know that if you can get out of bounds, because we found a way to get out of bounds, it's useless, because you need to shoot all of the sentinels, which we'll see later. Sick power slide there. So I actually had to clutch this out and go this way, because that car on the left there was like in a position that was just not optimal to drive through. So I have to download the compound code from that little area in there. So these cars, when they blow up, they can get in your way. It's car NG, yeah. So the first one was really nice to me. The second one, not as nice, but still pretty good. Like, sometimes they can land sideways and stuff, and it's just horrible. So we're gonna flip the car here, which is good. It's actually quite interesting. If you flip the car there, it's an indicator that you're actually going really fast, which is cool. So anyway, coming up on the second sentinel here. So we're going to be sort of playing it semi-safe here and just trying not to take too much damage. Health is going to be really important. So we shoot the sentinel there, get rid of those guys on the bridge, and pick up these missiles. So if you don't have enough health going into the second part of this level, there's no armor once you get on the plane, and it carries your health over. And then you will actually die in the second half of the level with you can't do anything about it, and then you'll have to replay it all. So anyway, we got to shoot these last guys here, and then we got to get rid of the last sentinel. So it's very important you have a lot of health and that you get this armor at the end, which we managed to get. So anyway, we're coming up on the long 5-minute auto-scroller.
Good work, so
Not much we can do to speed this up. Couple things here and there. Shoot this bridge as quickly as possible. And now the level's an auto-scroller, which is quite interesting. So, I mean, there are some tricks here and there, but usually in any marathon, this is the point where I'll, like, answer questions, donations, or whatever. So an interesting skip here we found is actually, that tower down there. If you actually wait for you to lock onto the tower, it's like, I think it saves like 5 seconds or something, because Allura speeds up in the plane.
I'll drop us down to those trucks.
So I managed to mess up a little with the rockets there, and he does take a bit of my health out, but we do survive and hold up pretty okay, because we did get the armor. Oh, I'm just anxiously wanting to lock onto that guy below me, but I just can't get it. Oh no! Oh, I almost got him.
On the right.
Anyway, so yeah, more sentinels that we got to kill. You can shoot the center of this bridge here, blows them both up. Just tossing rockets. You do have to be somewhat conservative of your rockets as well, because like if you don't have any rockets at the end, it's just not very fun to have to use the machine gun. So we have to shoot this plane here. Oh, I messed up there, but he shouldn't cause me any issues. So I go to shoot him with the machine gun. Usually that plane would be dead by now, but I messed up, but it's all fine. He'll be dead now. So we just gotta get rid of these boats here. So Allura does about 2 cycles here. Again, if anybody wants to find a skip for this, please do so. It would be yet another holy grail of skips in this game. Right, so we've finished our second cycle of this area. We're going to move along here. We're coming up on the final part of this level, which is another auto-scroller, but it is really funny, some of the stuff you can do. So I can shoot myself there with rockets. It's just for, like, swag there. And there is another cool trick here that you can get. It doesn't save any time, it's just for swag. I don't think I get it, though. If you time it right, you can have the missile explosions appear in that cutscene there, and it looks really funny. I didn't get it, though. So anyway, here, we just have to kill the tanks as quickly as possible. There's tanks and planes that are gonna come along, but it's actually the tanks that speed up the auto-scroller here. Though disposing of, like, everything as soon as possible is really good. But I mean, in the meantime, we just blow stuff up. So I go for a really stupid strat here. You can actually pop the tires on the tank and it can drive into the water. I end up popping the wrong side of the tank by accident. But yeah, if you pop the ones on the left side there, he'll drive into the water and it looks really funny. I didn't get it though, sadly. So just blow more stuff up. Just gotta get rid of these planes and get rid of the last tank. I was a little slow with the planes there, but we lost like no time at all there.
I'll place some charges at the base of the weapon, but you'll only
So
have a
we
short
just
time
gotta get
to
rid of this submarine that comes up. Shoot some more stuff in the meantime. And that should get rid of it. And boom, that is the end of Island Infiltration. We are now playing the game again, so everyone can wake up. So this is Countdown. This is sort of the true last level of the game. Equinox, the level that's coming up after, is an auto-scroller, but it does have a bit of challenge to it. When you are on like good pace runs, you don't want to celebrate too much, but Countdown is very intense. Lots of cool clips, lots of cool tricks. So right off the bat here, we're going to throw these mines on the wall here, get a quick kill on this level's boss, Rook. So we'll come back to them later. So this guard actually whacks me there, which it's annoying, but anyway, we moved on. So I actually unlocked the P2K in this run, which means I got a lot of points. That very rarely happens on an 80% run, which is quite interesting. So I thought I'd just use it just for a little, just for fun. But anyway, so this part here, in the old route and at the last GDQ run that happened, normally they would restart the level because it would make this door open quicker. Also, we have to be careful not to shoot the red ones here, otherwise we'll explode and die. But since then, a new skip has been discovered. Where you can basically clip through here and skip the whole thing, and it's faster. And I managed to get that first try. That is a bit of a tough clip. I have just practiced it a lot. But anyway, now it's a matter of just running into the Delta sector. We want to pick up these guys' AIMS grenades. They're going to help us later. So anyway, those mines we put down are going to kill Rook really quickly there. And we're going into the second section of this level. So, right off the bat, walking into this second section, we're going to manipulate some AI spawn here. There's a laser tripwire in the back there, and if we fire a grenade as they spawn while walking forward, it blows up and kills them both. That's a really easy shot to hit too. So another cool clip here, this is Silo Skip. That basically skips maybe like 60-70% of that section. Yeah, not that hard to do either. So, coming up on the final big trick of the run. This trick was discovered by Fitterspace and skips like 50% of this level, I want to say. Like, level as a whole. As for this section, it basically skips like 80% of it. But anyway. Oh, so anyway, I mess up a little there. I was meant to just jump straight over, but anyway. So I can push that through the wall to open this door below. I have to shoot that guy, otherwise he would have gotten away. So there's a trigger in the middle of this room here which stops you from being able to push this button. And we can clip out of bounds here. I mess it up twice, but I get it on my third try. Stops us being able to push that button, because you're normally supposed to push that button at the end of the level after a huge fight sequence. But we just skipped the trigger and probably skipped about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes of gameplay thanks to that. So anyway, we're going into the final level, Equinox. This level is a bit of an auto-scroller. The only things we can really do are kill the first two guys really quickly and kill Drake at the end really quickly. So yeah, you can like draw on Drake's face. It's really funny. But anyway. So yeah, now the level is an auto-scroller, so we're just gonna do all sorts of swag, like punch things out, which somehow you can do in space. Gotta be careful not to touch that laser or you die instantly. So anyway, you can punch out those solar panels, but as it turns out, you can also punch out the nuclear missiles. Though, the funniest thing about this level is you actually can't punch these space soldiers. They just don't die to punches for some reason. So, as you can see in the top right corner, it's easy to tell when the guards and stuff are coming out. It'll always glow red, or where the missiles are. So not too difficult. We're just going to punch another missile here. Boom. That's how you stop nuclear missiles. Shoot out some more solar panels for swag. Punch this one too, just for fun. So it is worth noting that punching the missiles doesn't actually lose any time. It doesn't matter how quickly you kill the missiles. You have to wait for them all to launch regardless. And when they, well, obviously once you've sabotaged them, they don't launch where, they don't launch at Earth. Which is, yeah, the whole point of this level. You don't want them to hit Earth. Yeah, though ironically, they actually hit Drake's space station, which, I mean, they're nuclear missiles. How they're not, you know, bigger explosions, I'll never know. I'm not an astrophysicist, so I wouldn't know. So anyway, we've shot the last of the enemies for this level. We're just gonna quickly get rid of the last lasers. Last missiles, sorry. Oh, I go to punch this last one, but I messed it up. But anyway, so we're just going to absolutely destroy Drake here. If we time it right, if we fire the overcharge, the secondary fire of the samurai, right as Allura says laser, we will kill Drake. And so now that audio cue should perfectly line it up to kill Drake. And there we go. And time 37:19. That is 007 Nightfire. Any percent? I hope you all consider putting this game into Games Done Quick. It has been an honor to do this submission video. I will leave you with this ending cutscene, and thank you all for watching.
Shaken, not stirred. Or is it stirred, not shaken? Definitely stirred.
Astronomers from around the globe are reporting unexpected meteor showers. Well done, 007.
Then I'm sure the world won't mind my taking a few days off. We'll let the autopilot be our designated driver.
Oh, James.